Alrighty. I think people are just plummeting in. We just go ahead and get this set up here. Alrighty. So I did test this earlier, so if there's anything wrong, let me know in the comments. Alrighty. Let's plug this sucker in. Oh, wait just 1 second. You know what? If I get a call in the middle of this, you see, there's this thing on YouTube where if you put it on like airplane mode and Wi-Fi, it'll actually block calls and whatnot from coming in. But I started because I was in a rush here, a little late on getting the fire going here, because I want to kind of build that environment, just kind of, because I asked you guys to hang out, right? And if I'm going to ask you to hang out, we're going to do it right. So I want you guys to feel like you're here with me. That's the whole point of this. So I got a, so let's see. Would you consider this to be a fireside chat? Yes, Connor, I would. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let's get... move right a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. How's everybody doing tonight? Big thanks to my dad's girlfriend for hooking me up here with dinner. Nice burger here with cheese and lettuce and tomato and ketchup, mustard, all the good stuff. And yeah, I know I'm just trying to kill the time right now. Let's see what people are actually saying. Jake, you gonna stick with Carbon X 2019 or are you gonna stick with Milo? Good question. We're going to be doing some comparisons this year. You guys know that Alan and I are doing the Project Lawn for my good buddy Rich Basaga. For those of you guys who don't know, we've done a few videos already this fall, kind of setting the stage for it. And what we plan to do this year is pretty much the same thing we've been doing last year. We're going to keep the rest of the lawn. We're going to be doing traditional with Milorganite, and then we're going to have small sections of the lawn, like I mentioned in the playlist as well, where we're going to be doing smaller areas with the next products and the Carbon X and things like that. So it'll kind of give you guys a fair comparison. So anyway, sorry, I got caught up here. Take a little drink. So yeah, what's up everybody? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Welcome to the first ever lawn chat, or as my good buddy Connor Ward just said in the comments, fireside chat. I actually kind of like that here. So, hope everybody's doing good. I know it's been rough because of the winter and everything. We're not able to get out like we're used to. We're not able to do the lawn work. We're just stuck sitting inside. I mean, I understand what it's like. I understand what it's like. Sorry. But yeah. I'll set this to the side. How's the Suburban doing? Suburban's doing pretty good. I currently don't have it at the moment because my grandma's car broke down, and so for that she had to borrow my truck. I'm totally fine with it. I'm not using it right now, but I should be getting it back here in the next couple of days. You got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? It's your family. They put up with my BS the rest of in my early years, so I might as well help them, you know. What's up, everybody? Okay, let's go through here and see what we got going on. Okay. Mold problems in the lawn, please. I'm not 100% confident that I could tell you about that right now, but I'm in the middle of doing some research for that, so stay tuned. Could you do a video on reseeding and landscape lighting? Those are some things I want to do this spring. I'm not so sure about that, but I do have some good intentions for the 2019 lawn season, as far as landscaping goes and whatnot. Because my front lawn, as you guys know, it doesn't have a lot of landscaping as it is, so I want to kind of bring that part to life. Like, I actually have some areas out there of the lawn that I'm thinking about cutting out just to put in a full landscape. Just to compensate for some of the extra foot traffic I have to deal with. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the channel, but a big problem I've had is that alongside my driveway, now that I got a basketball hoop and a trailer in the driveway, I have a lot more foot traffic on the main portion of the lawn, the edge of that, because that's where people walk to go in and out of the house. And then even during the lawn season, my sister Cassidy, she got into the basketball team, and because of that, she has a basketball hoop out there that she practices with. So when she goes to shoot, the end line is actually right on the lawn, so that kind of involves a little bit of foot traffic and whatnot. It hasn't looked good ever since then. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing to compensate for those problems is, like our good old buddy Pete from GCI Turf said, is we're just gonna cut that out and put landscaping there. So that'll probably make some videos on that. Let's see here. Thoughts on top dressing sand versus topsoil, spring or fall? Listen, as far as top dressing, I don't mess with top dressing. Period. Okay, I'm not a believer in that. I'm not a believer in that. Now that I'm learning more about the green industry, I believe in building your crappy soil over time and eventually making it topsoil by just giving it the nutrients, the humates, the nitrates. All you need to get it, just give it the nutrients it needs so that it will eventually become topsoil. Because here's how I like to think about it. This is what my buddy LCN talked about, so I'm going to steal this from him for a second. He referenced Simon Sinek talking about the long game versus the short game. So the best way to think about it is topsoil and whatnot. That's kind of the easy way out, right? Like, it's going to look good, but then after a while, problems are going to catch up to you, and it's not going to look good. But when you take the time to actually build your soil and just give it the nutrients it needs, and you help unlock those nutrients that are bound up, you're going to win in the long game. Now, I'm going to admit it's not going to be easy the first time around, but after just a long time of giving it the attention it needs, I promise you're going to win in the long term. Hey, what's up, Jeremy? How you doing? Greener Lawn, that's one of my buddies here in the community. Get a scissor mole trap there. Yeah, Grant, I've heard a lot about those mole traps, because while they may not be 100%, like I said, I got to do my research too. I've heard a lot of people talking about ways to culturally get rid of moles, and that's by setting traps in their tunnels and whatnot. So I think that's really cool. I'll have to experiment with that, because at my grandma's house, she lives in the country, so it's very unincorporated out there. She's got a lot of trees and whatnot, and because of that, she's got a lot of animal problems out there. Let's see, JC. Chad Fleming, you're always eating on live chat. Yes, I am, man. I don't know why. I can't help it. It's just that I don't want my dinner to go bad, you know. Mole problems equals insect in the lawn. Best defense to prevent moles to take away their food source. Oh, yeah. Good way to approach it chemically would be to use an insecticide to kill their food source. Great way to think about it, and then they eventually just die out. What do you do if it is warm in the Midwest? Should you put down more fertilizer? As far as putting down fertilizer, I'm not putting down any more fertilizer right now. We're in the off season. I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could, but I'm not going to take that chance. I'm waiting for proper springtime to arrive. You see, in fact, here's another thing though too. As far as nitrogen, your lawn really doesn't need a lot of it. I mean, it's a good thing to have, but you don't necessarily. The only thing we really use it for here in the winter is, number one, to get it into the soil to kind of help balance things out. And then once springtime comes, that's when that nitrogen is released into the plant, and you start to notice it just flourishing green. So that's, and also it just kind of helps you dominate too. Thank you for the great videos. Wanted to see if you had another lawn care nut neighbor. Not at the moment. I'm the only lawn guy here, but Elsie and I are still close. We got the projects this year, in case you don't know. Hey Jake, how's it going, buddy? It's going good. Thanks for asking, Larry. Gotta help Grandma. Yeah, man, you're right. In fact, that would make some really good content over there, because I have a lot of stuff I'm dealing with over there. Like, my grandma's got a lot of weed infestations. She's got, like we were just talking about earlier, she's got moles or voles or whatever they're called. But she's got a lot of infestations in that lawn. But overall, she has a good stand of turf. So I feel that maybe if we treat those problems accordingly, she can have a beautiful lawn. It may take some time, but it'll look good. Excuse me, guys, 1 second. I really didn't plan to be eating, but, you know, just give me 1 second. Let me take a bite of my sandwich. Very good. Pup Dog asks, what happened to the Craftsman LT1000? It's one of those things. Like, I've had it for a year and a half. I've used the heck out of it. In fact, a little backstory on this. So, the LT1000, the Craftsman LT1000, that tractor for 16 years hasn't been used. In fact, it just sat in my grandpa's shed. And once I got a hold of it, it went from not being used for long periods of time to just, like, I was using it almost every single day, and that wasn't good for it. It just put a lot of wear and tear on it. Had some problems with it, and it just got to a point where I wasn't willing to maintain it anymore. It was just too much, so I got rid of it, and I got the John Deere for free. Wayne Haynes says, hope you had a great Christmas, man. Thank you so much. Same to you. What's up, Semper Fi home guy? What's going on? Paul Hefner, damn sister. Yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, are you guys wondering what that noise is? Here, let's take a walk for a little bit. Let me show you a little bit about what's going on. Nice fire back there, too. Let me show you. This is killing the vibe, man. How's it coming up here? Good old Silverback. Okay. So, okay. So my dad, aka Silverback, you see me talking to him a lot. He's up there, and he's got this, and he has to do some painting, and he's got this this motorized, like, paint sprayer. So he's up there painting the wall. Oh my God, it's so funny, dude, but it's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Woo! Is that better than rolling the paint on? I have no idea. I'm no expert in paint. How's that? Alright. Put some in his hair. Have you ever tried dormant seeding? No, I haven't, and I see no reason to. You see, let me take a drink. I see no reason to do any of that because my lawn right now, it's thick, it's healthy. I'm not dealing with any thin spots. If I'm going to do any seeding, it's going to be in the fall. I see no reason to overcomplicate things. I'm just going to keep it simple, keep it basic. I might mess around with it in the future, but right now, just keep it simple. I don't even mess around with winter seeding. So, because there's a couple things you got to think about. So, if you seed now, right, and you deal with the snow, right, the seed's going to get into the soil. And then once springtime arrives, the seed's going to germinate, right? But the problem with that is crabgrass, because that's typically when we treat for crabgrass. Now, it depends on the situation you're dealing with. You can seed and put down crabgrass. In fact, they do have weed controls that you can use for that, like tenacity, which you can use on days of seeding. But I don't recommend that. It's just another step of difficulty that you got to deal with. And plus, another thing you got to think about is the germination periods are going to be pretty much the same. Okay, because while your grass seed may germinate in the spring, you may have some chances that some crabgrass may germinate in there too. So I wouldn't take a chance on that. Your dad looks young. That's funny. Killjoyous says more wood on the fire. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, so I just got all this wood today, and because of that, it's a little wet, so that's why the fire's a little dim. Usually, when I do this, I have this fire freaking roaring, like it's just all night. I can sustain a pretty good fire, but it's harder to do it when the wood is... Yeah, I suck at doing this stuff, but it is what it is. There we go. Snap, crackle, pop, boy. Put this one up here. Hear that? Haha. Cedar sod, and what is the best time to put in grass? As far as me, I'm a seed guy. I keep it simple. Seed, overseed, all that. I like to seed. I mean, as far as sod goes, I hear you could do it during the winter. You could do it during the fall, right? They each have their own optimal times. Why was Jake the snake so late? Oh well, I was over here fooling around with this fire and whatnot, and I got dinner, so that's part of it. Is there a new fertilizer you are most excited to try next summer? Yes, Carbon X. You guys know that any of you guys who follow the Green County folks, like John Perry and Matt Martin with Carbon X, they are releasing that new product, Carbon X, and I'm really looking forward to using that. We're actually going to be messing around with that on the Project Lawn, Alan and I, so stay tuned for that coming up, and I'm also really looking forward to putting it to its paces here. And I guess one of the things that's interesting to me about it is that there's no filler in the product. It's 100% nutrients, and I think that's what's pretty cool. What's your opinion on winter grass like rye? Well, whatever you got to do to sustain the beauty, I think you should do it. Have you ever used the snowblower this winter yet? Used mine once, put back 10-inch dump a month back. Yes, I've used it once. I mean, I really haven't needed to use it all that much because the fact that, you know, things are just kind of, you know, it's been really mild. Not a lot of snow, but we have had one snowstorm that actually knocked the power out, and because of that, I have used it just once, but nothing major. faster to paint the walls. Paint over so some more paint. Over summer, how many clients did you have? I had about 12, and I maintained about 10 to 12 weekly. How old were you when you started making lawn care videos on YouTube? I'd say about 13. I started 4 years ago in November, so we literally just passed 4 years. So I'm really proud of that. How's the old LCN lawn doing? Well, let me just give you a hint and say that I'm dominating it. So I just had to get that out there because that's how I am. But I believe that the lawn looks pretty good. I mean, it's had its downfalls. It has leaves on it and whatnot right now. What happened? Where'd everybody go?